Hello again. In this video, we're going to show you how to run an AR agent report. So what is an AR agent report? It is a report that shows you all the outstanding balance for all or selected customers as of a certain cutoff date. And unlike a sales report, for example, where it shows only the invoice total or the sales amount, the AR agent report shows you the original invoice amount as well as the remaining balance with the various aging dates for whether it's 30 days, 60 day current, 30 days, 60, 90 days old. That's still outstanding. So to run this report, you do is you go into accounts receivable. There's a quick link to that report. It's called print agent report. You can click there, or there's another way to get to it, and it's under reports, and there should be AR agent report right here. So either way, you'll be able to get to this AR agent report. So you click on next, and this is what we call a report selection screen. Okay, and here you can enter the cutoff date, and it defaults to today's date. Now, why is it useful? You can actually backdate it, for example, to, let's say you want to see the balance, your accounts receivable balance as of, let's say, you can backdate it, let's say July 1st of 2010, and the system will correctly show you the accounts receivable balance, agent report balance, as of that cutoff date, not including any payments, subsequent payments, or credit memos or anything like that on or after the cutoff date. So for now, in this first example, I'm going to go ahead and use today's date as an example. Okay, and next thing that you see here on the report selection screen is the ability to specify the customer that you want to see on the report. By default, it's going to print all the customers that have outstanding balance or open balance on this report. Here, you can specify the customer number. Again, if you know the customer number, you can put in the range starting from, and the system will show you only the open transactions for that, open invoices for that customer. Print details, if this is checked, and by default it is checked, it will show you all the detailed transaction, namely all the open invoices and open credit memos for the selected customer. Sorted by, if you select this, it will sort it by customer number. By default, it is sorted by customer name in alphabetical order. So in this example, we're going to just go ahead and preview this agent report without changing any of the default report selection on this window on screen. So I'm going to go preview. As you can see here, it is sorted in alphabetical order, A to Z, and for each customer, it shows the customer number, name, phone number, and it's useful when you print this report, for example, for follow-up phone calls and to check to see who has the most outstanding, the oldest, over 60, over 90, for example, and based on the balance open. And it shows the detail because we selected, we checked off the show details, and it shows the PO number, the invoice number, the date, the original invoice total, and what's the balance. And going across here, you can see that whether that balance is under the current balance or over 30, 45, 60, and 90, and so forth. So let's take a look at the example sample company that we've been following, and that is Control Manufacturing. You have the PO number, you have the invoice number, the date, the amount, and what's the remaining balance. You notice here that you have the original invoice total of $33,000, and for this invoice there's a balance of $23,332.33, and because it's dated August 18th, it's under the column of over 30 days. Okay, so that's a quick view of the default accounts receivable agent report. Of course, if you know the company name, let's go back to the case where we backdated to say July 1st, okay? July 1st, okay? And we do another preview, and let's take a look at the balance. Again, down here for Benson and Benson. You notice, I'm going to go to the next one. Oh, wait a second. Previous. Automation, Benson. okay, you notice that control manufacturing is not even listed on here because none of their transactions, invoices, and so forth are shown because they're dated in August and September. So that's why, you know, in this case, control manufacturing transactions are not even listed on here. So let's go back and let's date it to, let's say, August, let's say September 1st. Okay, September 1st, 2010. Okay, and we're going to do another preview, and we're going to go down here, and sure enough, we have two invoices for control manufacturing that are dated August 15th and August 18th, but none of the September invoices for control manufacturing that are dated after the 1st of September are shown here. So the balance, the balance for each company as well as the balance for the entire agent report is based on what your cutoff date is. That's based on the specified cutoff date. It will change based on what you put in for the cutoff date. So in this case, the cutoff date was September 1st, 2010, and this is the agent report, accounts receivable balance report total, and this is the amount. But it will change. Let's say we go back and change it to, let's say, August 1st, 2010, and do another preview. And let's take a look at the total. Again, this total changes because, again, of the fact that the system is not including any transactions that are dated after the cutoff date. So let's go back and say, again, we want to get the AR agent report balance as of today. Then you put in today's date. Okay, and do another preview. And if you look at the total here, you can see the total is now inclusive of all the transactions as of the cutoff date. So in the case of control manufacturing, now you have August 18th, and you also have September 3rd invoices in there. Now you notice the other two invoices are no longer listed for control manufacturing because we have previous payments that are dated on the 18th, and they're no longer, because we apply the payment on the 18th, they're no longer open, so therefore they are not listed on the open AR agent report. Okay, another example is when you can select, let's say you want to select a particular company to look at. So to continue this example, we're going to use control manufacturing because that's all we want to see. Select control manufacturing to be shown on the report. In case you want to do a follow-up phone call or whatever, then you do control manufacturing and end with control manufacturing. Okay, and select control manufacturing, and again we're going to do a preview, and sure enough it shows only transactions for control manufacturing. Another thing you can do is, let's say if you want to show all the customers, but you don't want to see the details. You just want to see the total for each company, but no detailed transactions. So you uncheck the print details and select preview, and this time we're going to show all the companies and the balances, and whether it's 30, current, 45, 90, and so forth for each company without any details. It may be useful just for an overview of what's outstanding and who has the most age invoices. Okay, so that's how you would use the agent report to really manage and control your accounts receivable agent balance. Another thing I want to show too is that while we're in this video is to show how a credit memo would be displayed in the accounts receivable agent report. So I'm going to go ahead, and by the way, this step has already been shown in another video on how to create credit memos, but I'm going to go through it again. Create miscellaneous invoices, and again we're going to use control manufacturing as an example, and in this case I'm just going to create an open credit memo without any particular invoice to apply it against, and we're going to go to credit memo here. Okay, and it's dated 9/18. I'm going to just backdate it to, let's say, 9/15. Okay, and again I'm going to select the department and quantity of -1, unit of each. Okay, and the price in this case, the credit memo amount I'm going to issue is, let's say, $3,000. Okay, $3,000 credit memo. It's not taxable, so I'm going to uncheck the tax, recalculate this. You can see it's the total credit memo amount for this is $3,000. Okay, minus 3,000. So I'm going to save this, and we're going to go back to that report under accounts receivable, and we're going to go ahead and print the agent report again. In this case, we're going to date it. The cutoff date is today's date, 18th, and print details. Go ahead and preview, and let's go down and see what's the balance is for that control manufacturing company. Sure enough, the credit memo is now shown as $3,000 minus amount here, and because it has not been applied, it is shown as having that $3,000 credit memo. But once you apply this against another open invoice for this company, then this will be off your open agent report, and as well as the balance of the invoice that you applied this credit memo against. So in this case, when you look at the agent report and it shows a credit memo with a balance, what it means is that that credit memo is still open and it has not been applied against another open invoice, whether it's per the customer request or because you don't just simply have an invoice to apply it against. But nevertheless, the balance for that customer is still correct with the credit memo factor in. So in this case, you have let's see, 0315. Let's run the report again, and let it have a cutoff date of 09. Say on the 14th, as of the 14th, because we have a credit memo dated the 15th. That credit memo should not be even listed on there, and it picks up other invoices because they were not paid as of the 14th. Right, as of the 14th. Okay, so that's how this agent report works. I'm going to go back in and apply this $3,000 credit memo just to show you that how the transaction will reflect on the agent report. So I'm going to go in and apply control manufacturing. Okay, control manufacturing, and I'm going to date it the 15th for that credit memo of $3,000. It's dated September 15th, and I'm going to again apply credit memo here, and I'm going to apply this against this invoice. Okay, to bring it down to another $3,000. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and save this. No, I'm going to go back and print the agent report, and let's take a look. In this case, just preview it. Okay, and let's go ahead and look at control manufacturing. Now the credit memo is no longer listed as open, it's gone, and the balance of that invoice that we applied to, 1070, is now reduced by that same amount, and the agent report is reflecting, the balance is reflecting correct open balance for that customer. And that's how the AR agent report is designed to do. There's another option you may notice is in the verify mode. It's rarely used, but it is if it's checked, what it does is that it goes through. It will take longer for the system to process or run the report. What it does is that it goes through and it verifies to make sure that all the payments associated with any invoice are in fact in place and they are dated correctly. So it's rarely used. It's only used when you notice there's some discrepancy in terms of what, whether it should be there or should not be there. But usually it's rarely used. And that's how the agent report, AR agent report works. And that concludes this video.